Hello, good evening. This is John C, and welcome back to Empire of the Sun. This is my a new recording I'm doing, and this is a little bit different because now I'm playing the Allied player instead of the Japanese player, like before, unlike before. Um, this will also be this is an AAR that's going to be somewhat instructional, although not as instructional as the first set of videos that I put out. Uh, Here, I'm sure you'll learn something too if you're not too familiar with the game yet. But I'm not going to go into the rules in as much detail as I did in my first recordings. Uh, I played this game a number of months ago. I was playing against a gentleman named Stephen Tam. He's from California, very nice gentleman. But this time I'm the Allied player instead of Japanese player, so you'll be able to see the game from the Allied perspective. So what I'll be doing is, recording my thoughts. This has been a while already, so I'm sort of trying to remember what I did was I was thinking about as I was playing, and then I will take the game with that from that point of view. I also want to thank everyone who watched and commented on my videos. My videos, the instructional AAR put out many months ago. It was fairly well received, and I received a lot of positive comments on that. And very, very kind of you. Thank you very much. Even got a remark from Mark Herman himself that he enjoyed the videos, and I'm flattered that he even took the time to look at the video. But anyway, this is a new video, new game. This time I'm the allied player. All right, so we see here that the Japanese player has gone ahead and gotten his deck of cards, and he's opened with a Vice Admiral Kondo card. Oh, and before we start, sorry, I should talk really briefly about the emergency naval move that I made. As you know, the very first thing in the game in the 1940 scenario is the Allies have the emergency naval move segment that allows them to move ships around, emergency naval move certain ships. So what I did was is that I went ahead and moved the Exeter. I think it was the Exeter from I think it was in Colombo. I'm not sure where it starts. I think it starts in Colombo. I guess I can look at the starting hex here. Um, 1307. So I think it is from Colombo, and so I moved it to Rangoon. The reason for that is I just want to beef up that uh, location in order to resist any enemy air naval if he decides to open with an air naval bombardment there. So at least I have some modicum of resistance so that the Allied to protect the Allied air here, the American air unit that's in here, the AVG. Um, uh, I really don't want to be destroyed because it turns out that we have to be careful if the American AVG, if there's no air unit in Rangoon, it becomes quite dangerous because then if the Japanese were to put an air unit in Bangkok, it actually cuts off Rangoon from supply to SEAC. So that's a bit dangerous. So you really need to put air unit or at least maintain air units in Rangoon as the Allied player. And so I put the Exeter here in order to help defend the AVG American Air Group there. Another thing that I did, a lot of this is just normal stuff. It's just anything that's unusual for an ENM, but I went ahead and moved the destroyer unit. I think this is the DD, and I think this thing came from Terracan here, um, from Terracan, and I think he goes from there, and I think I moved him here. They get the Dutch cruiser from Tillagap to Surabaya. The reason for that again is that I just want to put roadblocks in roadblocks in the Japanese advance during the south during his first returns. There's always a chance that he might have a poor uh, card draw. He's going to get a lot of. He doesn't have as much military events, and so in order for him to go after these hexes, these port hexes and Batavia, which is an important port for him to be able to invade Java. Uh, he's going to have to open battle hexes in each of these places, which since if he has just non-military cards and he's only can only afford to have one battle hex per non-military card activated for the ops, then for each of these ports is going to have one card each. It's quite expensive for the Japanese. Although, of course, if he has military events, then this is all a moot point. And he's just going to go in and just wipe everything out. But it's worth a try. Okay, so that's where that is. This is here, Durabaya, uh, Batavia, and at Biak, I put the cruiser that came from Samar Leyte, and I put it here. I also moved the Australian cruiser to Guadalcanal again to create another bump so he doesn't just take over the Solomon Islands by default just by landing the 6-6 cruiser without having to open the battle hex here in Guadalcanal. So I just did that. All right. Anyway, so we see my opponent open with the Vice Admiral Kondo card, and it's a 7. It's a 7 logistics value. He played it for the event, obviously, and he played it against the South HQ. So he has 8 activations, and so we can see he has 8 guys that he activated, and I've come to the point in the log where he's already activated and moved his units around. I'm not going to count 8 units. I did verify there are 8 units in here, and he quite busy the first turn. He opened the 8 battle hex, so six battle hexes, 8F, which is a lot. I normally the first thing I like to do as a Japanese player, and I think I did this in the game that I played, is to make sure that when I open up, I make sure that Manila, the Air Force in Manila, the FEAF, the Far East Air Force here, air unit, and this Malayan air unit here in Singapore are knocked out, and I take special pains to do that. Again, the reason being is that I want to knock it out so I can paralyze the HQ so he's not able to move units out and activate units and so on and so forth. Being able to paralyze Southwest Pacific and Malaya HQs just makes life so much easier for the Japanese going forward. Um, but he did try to do it. He's trying to do it now. He's opened up and he's trying to. He used this 22-10-2 unit and he's attacking the FEAF, which is, you might say, that's cool. I would not have. What I would have done is I would have used the 22-10-2 and I would have maybe even activated the Nagato and moved it down here just so I could get 40 points, to be able to make sure that you knock out the Far East Air Force. If you knock out, because you could always roll a quarter result. If here it will work. I mean, this will work if he's lucky enough to roll at least a half result. If he rolls a half result, then yeah, okay, then mission accomplished, and he's able to destroy the FEAF and paralyze Southwest Pacific. But it's not a done deal. There's no assurance that he's going to roll a half result. He could roll a 0, 1, or 2, in which case he's SOL because then he's not going to be able to destroy it. I mean, 22 divided by 4, that's 6 damage, and he's not going to be able to knock out the Far East Air Force unit. So I would not have done that. I would not have. The same here also with the Singapore air unit. He's only opened. This one's particularly risky because we use the 20 factors against well, 6, but he needs to roll a full result, okay, in order to knock out the Malayan air unit completely. Okay, so he should have, I would have tried to knock it out. I would have concentrated whatever it is, 19 times 4, 76 factors. I mean, you could probably get away with, since you round fractions up, you can get away with less than 76, maybe as a few 73 factors, and that would guarantee knocking out the Malayan air unit. So again, that's to prevent things like, because if the Malayan air unit survives, then you can activate the 6th Australian Division, and then evacuate Singapore and put it down here in Chillicap, where it can be a real pain in the butt for the Japanese to try to take Dutch East Indies. Just the pain. So again, it's not something I would have not concentrated on this and this. I would not have done all this other stuff. But hey, it's his decision. That's okay. I can see why he wants to get busy, as it were. So anyway, so there's a battle A, there's a battle B, there's a battle D, E, and F. I don't see a C. Maybe he just doesn't have a C. All right, maybe 5 battle hexes instead of 6. So he has an A here, a B, a D. So he's taking this air unit, and then I guess it's moving. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at half range to try to knock out this guy. Sorry, full range at half strength, trying to knock out this guy. E is trying to land here in Tarakan, which is pretty much a done deal because then he's got the Ryujo, which is going to give him a +4. So this is pretty much a done deal, this one. And then he lands in Kendari with his Suiho, another half army. So it is another pretty much done deal. So I think E and F are pretty much done deals for him. A and B are not. There's a chance that it might not pull off. And D is the longest of long shots, but then he doesn't really need to score in this. I mean, if he's lucky and he's able to knock it out, good for him. But if not, no harm done, as it were. If he's able to sink the destroyer, he's just lucky because then he's able to land a unit here, a Japanese unit here, land unit, and try to take Chillichap without having to declare battle hex. Interesting is just he was able to land a Japanese half army in Telekbetong, hex 1917 here in Dutch East Indies. His plan, I think, is to eventually shuttle air unit to here and basically cut off the Chillichap, and so I can't land the Abda air base. I can't put the Abda unit here, HQ, because these guys are out of supplies, and since this guy's out of supply, it doesn't project an Azoi, so it doesn't negate or doesn't neutralize the Japanese area that's going to land here. Anyway, so that's what he did, and I don't have my hand yet. I didn't try, so I think I'm going to do it in my next card. So I will see what in the next video. I will draw my hand. I will roll and tell, and I'll resolve the combat and see what happens. All right. Thank you very much for your attention.